Veterans, did you know it is completely possible and legal for you to receive $100,000 per year in combined income from the VA and Social Security disability insurance? This means tax advantages federally authorized, written into law, and yet a lot of you guys don't know about this or don't even attempt to get it. Not because you don't qualify, but because you believe it's a lie and it's not possible for you. Today, I'm going to be showing you why you can legally stack VA disability and SSDI, the federal regulations that forces Social Security to consider your VA evidence, why 100% PNT veterans gets expedited review, why TDIU is one of the most strongest SSDI foundation possible, and how this can translate into nearly 6 figures per year for you and your family, and exactly how to execute this strategy step by step, because guess what? Giving you all this information without no implementation means nothing. If you're new here, my name is Reuben Geimah. I am a combat veteran and the CEO of VA Cleans Made Easy. I have no-life the VA system so that you don't have to, because remember, the VA is not the problem. Your lack of knowledge and the system is, and that's what we fix here on this channel. Let's get into the video. So many veterans operate off of myth, and myths are becoming very, very expensive for you veterans that are operating off of those myths. Let me break this down. Myth number one, you have to choose. That is completely false. So many veterans think you have to choose between the VA disability or Social Security, and they can't get both. That's not the case. I'm here to tell you that. You have to understand there is no offsets between the VA disability compensation and SSDI. They are completely separate programs. The VA disability is compensated from service-connected impairments. SSDI is insurance based on your work history and inability to maintain sustainable gainful activities. Completely different programs that do not reduce each other, and if you're a veteran, you qualify for both. And if you don't understand this, that assumption is going to be costing your household $20,000 to $40,000 per year. Just putting that out there. Now, here's where it gets more powerful, because myth number two is even more damaging. Your VA rating doesn't matter to Social Security. This is backward thinking. Federal Regulation 20 CFR 404.1504 requires Social Security to consider the evidence underlying disability decisions made by other agencies. That includes the VA. To put it into layman's terms, yes, it does. SSDI will consider your VA disability. But let me be precise. They are not bound by the VA rating percentage. That's completely different. But they must review the medical evidence that includes your CMP exam, your DBQ, your nexus opinions, your functional impact statement, and your treatment letter. That's ammunition for you to be even closer to qualifying for this thing. And most veterans don't redeploy it or don't even apply for it and don't even know about it. You actually built the file. You already endured the exam. You already gathered the evidence. Why would you not leverage it when you're going for SSDI? It just don't make no sense. The VA will literally send it. But here's where a lot of veterans mess this up. They think SSDI is about percentage. It's not. It's about functionality, and let me break that down as well. How does SSDI actually work? To qualify for SSDI, you must meet 3 criteria. Number 1, sufficient work credit. Number 2, a medically determinable impairment. Number 3, inability to perform sustainably gainful activity, SGA for short. SGA is about income level. If you can consistently earn above a certain threshold, Social Security assumes you can work. The focus is not on your diagnosis, it's your functional limitation. And bing, 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 this is why your CMP exam really truly matter, because they document how long you can sit, how long you can stand, cognitive limitations, social limitations, concentration deficit, attendance reliability, and that's what's going to win your SSDI case. Not pride, not percentage, but functional impact. Now, let's talk about 100% PNT. because this is where the systems shift in your favor. If you are 100% PNT, your SSDI claims can qualify for expedited processing under the special review category. Does that guarantee approval? No, but it speeds up the matter. And with speed comes reduced financial stress. And also is a signal to SSDI that you are serious. When applying, you must identify yourself as a 100% PNT recipient and provide the proper documentations to support that. Most veterans don't even know to mention it, and they just, don't use the benefits that they earn, but that's not gonna be you because you're watching this video. Let's talk about how your TDIU can actually help you in this process. If the VA has determined that your service-connected conditions prevent you from maintaining substantially gainful employment, this means you're on the right path because the Social Security definition of disability is nearly identical to TDIU. They use the phrase substantial gainful activity. That overlaps is powerful. If you have TDIU, you're already proven your conditions prevent consistent work. Now, let me be clear, that's not an automatic approval, but it's a strong evidence case in your favor, and evidence win the cases when it comes to the VA or SSDI. Let's talk about numbers, because strategy without financial context is weak. This is the financial breakdown that you are sitting on if you qualify for this program, for both of these programs. 2026 approximation. 100% PNT single veterans is going to be pulling in roughly around $4,000 per month tax-free. Monthly SSDI is around $4,000 as well. So you're getting $4,000 per month from the VA. Now, if you incorporate the maximum SSDI, that's another $4K per month depending on your earning records. You stack both of those together, you're making $8,000 per month. That's roughly $96,000 per year. And if you really want to capitalize on this and you relocate to places like Panama, where I'm at, you are literally big baller shark caller. You can do whatever you want because the cost of living is so low out here. Matter of fact, I actually met a veteran that inspired this video. I was talking to him at the formerly known Trump Tower. If you are ever in Panama, you know what I'm talking about. Here's the thing, he has both of these combined and he's making around 9K a month. He wasn't shy to tell me everything because he was a big fan and he loved the videos. He knew who I was. So we literally sat down and discussed it. But he's living the most lavish life that he can. This guy is only in his 40s. He's getting his SSDI, he's getting his VA, and he is loving life. He was just telling me, like, I don't even understand why more veterans don't stack both of these programs and then just relocate, because you're not dealing with the stress and the inflation and the cost of living of the US. You're dealing with an affordable place. He lived in a great building. He has literally all his needs met. He does nothing, literally nothing. Someone to do everything for him, all right? This is what some of you guys that qualify for both of these programs are sitting on. So use it effectively. You stack this, you bring in $96,000 a year and you relocate to places like Panama, you are in the top earning percentile. You make more than even the politicians out here. They report to you. Let me not say that because I don't want to make no politician mad. They're going to be like, you got to leave. We saw your YouTube video, you gone. But honestly, guys, do some of your own research. Look at the cost of living and you'll see what I'm talking about. So many veterans are sitting on their own freedom and they can retire regardless of what age. They just don't understand that. Sometimes you might need to put yourself in a different environment. And it's not like you're losing any of the amenities that the US have. I've been here for close to 6 months now, and I have everything at a cheaper cost, at an affordable price. Hold up, real quick, vets. YouTube tells me that 93.8% of you guys are watching the video but not subscribing. That's like my ex-girlfriend wanting all my VA benefits but not committing to me. Come on, man. I put a lot of work, a lot of sweat into these videos. So if it's bringing value to you, just hit the subscribe button. It literally takes nothing from you, but it tells YouTube that what we're doing here at VA Cleans Made Easy is actually helping the community so they promote and push to more veterans. And ultimately, that's our goals. So go ahead and take the time out right now. Just subscribe to the channel. Let me give you guys a realistic example. We're going to talk about veteran A, 90% combined rating, granted TDIU, so he's getting compensated at 100%, which is $4K per month. Struggling with PTSD and lumbar spine issues, cannot maintain consistent employments. He assumes that SSDI is off limits. 3 year passes, he finally applies, submit the VA CMP exam, highlight functional limitations, approved for reconsideration, receive $1,800 per month from SSDI. That's $21,600 per year extra. 3 years of delay cost him $60,000. That's very expensive, right? When he could have been making that money. So awareness is leverage. Now let's talk about if you do get denied, because many SSDI claims are denied initially. So are many VA claims as well. Denial is not defeat, it's just part of the process. It just means you need to sit back and reassess. If you're denied, what you need to do is request reconsideration, update medical evidence, clarify functional limitations, emphasize inability to maintain SGA. And if you're denied again, you want to file administrative law judge hearing. This is where many approval happens, because testimonies plus medical evidence plus work history narrative combined will structure you into winning. Let's talk about some of the common mistakes that so many of you vets do in this process. Mistake number 1, minimalizing systems out of pride. This is not a job interview. This is documentation of impairment. Mistake number 2, failing to connect symptoms to work limitations. You must explain how your conditions prevent consistency. Mistake number 3, quitting after the first denial. Process requires persistence, guys, and this is important. Nothing that comes easy is actually appreciated, but you do the due diligence, you file again, you get accepted, boom, you're good. You making money. You're not even going to be thinking about how many times you got denied. You're just going to be like, oh, I'm getting paid extra. Mistake number 4, not submitting VA evidence. Do not make this mistake. You need to submit your VA evidence. It's going to carry so much weight and it's going to help you. You already built it. It's already there. Use it. Understand that this is bigger than just money. It's about control of your life and your time and your freedom. And veterans often feel undercompensated, overwhelmed, frustrated, but frustration without structure changes nothing. And now you guys are getting the information that you need to execute and actually take charge. So go ahead and execute. So here's your execution plan, your clear blueprint that you need to use in your execution phase. Step 1, you need to verify your work credit eligibility on the ssa.gov. Go there and verify that. Step 2, you need to gather VA rating decisions and medical records. Step 3, you need to review CMP exam for functional limitations. Step 4, you need to document how conditions prevent consistent work. Step 5, you need to apply for SSDI online. Step 6, you need to submit all your VA evidence to them. Step 7, you want to identify if you are 100% PNT or TDIU status. Both of those are going to carry so much weight and help you. And if you're not at 100% or TDIU, click the link in my description, join my school community group. We're helping a lot of veterans get to that level if they qualify, and we would love to help you as well. Step 8, you want to prepare for your consultative exam. Step 9, if you are denied, file for a reconsideration. Step 10, you want to stay disciplined, you want to stay locked in, because it only matters when you're going through it, but when you get out of it, it don't matter no more, especially when you're getting paid. So long term here, if you stack your VA plus your SSDI, you create income stability. And if you want to go even further, you stack your VA with your SSDI and then you relocate to Panama. Oh, you hit the holy grail. You literally get everything your heart desires out here. And you truly retired Doing this has literally given me the time to be able to assess my life, heal, work on myself mentally, physically, emotionally, get world-class health care, take care of my body, and then actually figure out what I wanted to do with my life, which led to the creation of VA Claims Made Easy, the first AI-powered VA Claims app that's going to guide you through the whole process of the VA claims from the comfort of your home, on your phone. Just because I was able to put myself in this environment, stack myself up financially in the States, put myself up in an environment where my money goes the long way, which has been paramount for me. So listen, guys, my name is Reuben Geimah. I am the CEO of VA Claims Made Easy. I truly hope this video brought value to you. And if it did, take a look at this one, and they're equally going to bring as much value to you as this one has. I'll see you guys either in the school community group or in the next video. Peace.